Hey everyone, Josh from StartReplay.com here, bringing you my first ever keyboard review courtesy of Razer, who have provided me with the Ornata CHROMA keyboard. So let me take you through it and give you all the specs. Before I get into anything else, let's take a quick snapshot of what's in the box. So of course you have the keyboard, the wrist rest, and a bunch of manuals. So as you'll notice, I have another tripod next to me with a camera pointing directly at the keyboard, so when I start to light it up, you'll have a fantastic image to see. But let's start with the tech specs. Now, unlike traditional keyboards with squishy membrane keys which don't make a lot of sound, and on the other end of the spectrum with full mechanical keyboards which do make a lot of sound, the Ornata goes in between the two and provides something that's called a Mecha-Membrane. With the new feature of the Mecha-Membrane, you get the best of both worlds, with the soft touch of the key and also that tactile click that you get from a traditional mechanical keyboard. I don't have a full mechanical keyboard, but I'm going to place my normal keyboard with membrane buttons next to the Mecha-Membrane Ornata keyboard, just so you can hear the difference in clicking sound. So if I press the K on the traditional keyboard, it doesn't really make a lot of sound. It's quite squidgy. But now if I press the K on the Ornata keyboard, you still get that satisfying click that you'd get from a fully mechanical keyboard, and it's hard to obviously convey this through the camera, you do get that nice squishy feel from a normal membrane keyboard. And that mechanical click that you get alongside that nice cushion feel. Ah, it feels so good on the fingers. It is really fantastic. I also like chiclet keys, like on the new MacBook Pros, the really slim keys, almost as though there's no keyboard there. It's just, you know, a hard surface with slight button presses. I do like that, but the Mecha-Membrane is it's hard to convey again through the camera. It's so satisfying to press and to use, especially as they're mid-height keys. They're just the perfect size for me anyway. Now, of course, like with most keyboards, if you're using it a lot, you're sat down, you're either typing out letters or just gaming, you're going to probably want a wrist rest just to make it a lot more comfortable. Luckily, the Ornata comes with its very own, let's just get this in camera shot, magnetic wrist rest with some fake leather on the top, which is really comfortable, really squishy. If I just put that up to the camera up here, you can probably tell how soft that is, and it magnetically connects to the bottom. And the magnets aren't the strongest in the world, so you know it doesn't take much for it to nudge left or right if you're moving it about. But in terms of comfort, you can't beat it. And you don't need to buy anything separately, which is even better. Another major feature, of course, if you go for the Chroma edition, is the Chroma lighting. Now with the standard edition you just get the normal green lighting, and again that is customizable, but when you add that Chroma touch, it makes it stand out so much more from any other keyboard. It looks fantastic. You can customize it in so many different ways, and I'll show you a few of them right now. There are many ways in which you can use the Ornata's Chroma colouring to stylize your keyboard. Here I've customized specific buttons to hold colour. There's also breathing, which will fade in and out with a certain colour of your choosing. Fire, which looks like hot embers. Reactive, which, as you'd expect, reacts to your button presses. Ripple, which again will react to your button presses and ripple away from whichever key you've pressed. Spectrum cycling, which cycles through all colours one by one. Starlight, static with one colour of your choosing, and wave, which cycles through the entire colour palette available. This is my favourite. For me, the 16.8 million colour support is a fantastic addition across any Razer product. You know, I missed it when they didn't introduce it in the Raiju, the PlayStation 4 controller, but the colour in this, as you can already see from what I've shown, is eye-dazzling. It's absolutely amazing. Of course, not forgetting the smaller details, you've got little feet on the back to raise the keyboard, and also you've got some great cable management to enable you to exit the cable out of either side or at the top in the center of the keyboard. So I really like that, because some only allow you to go through the top, and if you want it down by the side, it can get a bit messy as it trails down the top of the keyboard, but that's really nice. So before I forget, I'm going to just roll through some finer details taken straight from the Razer website. Of course, you've got the Razer Mecha-Membrane technology. Nice and clicky, nice and squishy, the best of both worlds. You've got the mid-height keycaps, which means you get to that click that little bit faster. You've got the Chroma lighting, which I love, absolutely adore. You've got the Razer Synapses enabled part of it, so you can customize everything on the computer. You've got the 10 key rollover, dedicated gaming mode, fully programmable keys with on-the-fly macro recording, and of course you've got the wrist rest. I wish that the magnets in the wrist rest were a little bit stronger, so they didn't move as easily, but other than that, really, really good. And you've also got the anti-ghosting capability for up to 10 simultaneous key presses. So to conclude, from the perspective of someone such as myself, who's a complete beginner when it comes to keyboards, I think the Ornata not only provides a great set of features, but it also comes in at a really good price. You know, for £80 for the standard Ornata, which also comes with the wrist rest, that's with the green lighting, not the Chroma styling, and £20 more for the Chroma one at £100. And compared to all the other keyboards that you can get for various prices, I love the fact it meshes together with the Mecha-Membrane, the membrane switches and the mechanical ones. It feels great on the hands. It looks great with the colouring and the styling. The wrist rest is really comfortable. I wish the magnets on the wrist rest were a little bit more powerful, just so it didn't shift as easily to the left and right. It's pretty much everything I would need from a keyboard. And so yeah, I'd highly recommend it for any of you out there looking for your first gaming keyboard, looking for your first major upgrade to your crappy keyboard like I had, my Novatech like £10 keyboard. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous if you were to see the build of machine that I have for me to use that. But with this I'm definitely in the right direction, and yeah, so really, really happy. In terms of a score, I would give the keyboard, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's near perfect. I think with the wrist rest, as I've already said, could do a little bit of work. And yeah. As always, if you like what I'm doing here on the channel, and if you haven't already done so, you can subscribe via this button here. Also, here's a video I thought you might like to watch next. Don't forget to comment, like, and I'll catch you next time.